thing is that
what is EFF?
The Economic Freedom Fighters. It's one of the political parties that is very active in South Africa, and it's dominated by young people, which were the outbreak actually were coming from the youth league of the same ANC, which is the Mandela Party. Mm-hmm. So because of that, we different ideas actually, different reasons of why we left the party. First of all, we felt that while Mr. Mandela is no more, we are sort of like, as young people, isolated, from the policies of the ANC. So the ANC was focusing on another direction. And then we decided to split from the ANC. And then I joined that political party. That political party actually, what Mawete just said to you now, Mawete is from the PAC, the Pan-Africanist Congress. We are Pan-Africanists as well. We are sharing the same policies and ideology, which is Africa for Africans. That's what we believe in. And within...
But upon that, his party is so innovative. He's working in the now.
Yeah,
he's working in the now.
We always clash anyway. Mm-hmm. With their ideology. They said, I know Godfrey, you stole our ideology. I said, but you didn't implement any policies. So we are here to try to implement these policies that you think that we might hijack from you. Mm-hmm. So it was all about that. That is the idea behind from the EFF. And what else I think we're trying to fight more is the white supremacy in this country. I usually say to people, I came in the tourism industry by mistake. I never knew it was a blessing in disguise because I grew up in a time whereby I had glimpses, even though I might be young, but we had glimpses of the apartheid regime. But we never knew that it's wrong. We thought that's how life is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I was born in the hostels. Some of the buildings that you find, some of the structures that you find that were designed for migrants. Today you find families. And women were not allowed to be there, for example. And there used to be cops that would be raiding these hostels. Our moms were not allowed to be there. So our dad has to bribe, our fathers. And as children, we used to run when we see the cops, and obviously the cops were white, even though it was minority on there.
That was shamble.
Yeah, so we would ran home and said, Mommy, here comes the cop. And the beds in the hostel are like this size from the crowd, where they used to put their luggage. But our moms, it became their own space to hide. That was wrong. We never knew, So I became involved in politics quite a long time ago, but I became involved in serious politics from 2013 when we broke up from the ANC, which is a ruling party. And to join the EFF, the Economic Freedom Fighters, it took me 3 months because I wasn't sure what's going on. So I had to go through their policies, and read it and go through it. That was in 2013. Yeah. We call them the policies, you call them the 7 cardinal pillars of the EFF. That's what we're proud of. One of them, it says, expropriation of land without compensation.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Expropriation of land without compensation.
You devils get nothing.
And there were a lot of, debate about it. How are you going to expropriate this? How are you going to do this? And stuff like that. Because the ANC has spoken about it before the issue of the land. They came up with the idea. They never implemented it. Then the ANC started to hijack it, but the only thing that was upsetting about the ANC is that they were just talking about it, not actually.
It's just a lip service.
And the EFF, that's where it came on board, and we started to say we're going to approach these people. We're going to go to Stellenbosch to deal with the Ruperts. We're going to go to Stellenbosch or France.
Talk about the Ruperts.
The Ruperts are those are the that's where the economy of this country is. It's a female. And we've got the Oppenheimers. They are also right in Stellenbosch, in the wine region, because it's another region that is white dominated in this country. So this is what the EFF is looking at. Now, what we say, I'll share a story quickly with you. I'm originally from the villages, which is situated in the eastern part of the country. It takes us about 11, 12, 13 hours driving. It depends where you go on that side. But I'm from a small village there called Langa. And my dad is a farmer. But he's not a formal farmer, with all of these equipment, but he has livestock. because people, they survive by farming on that side. It could be livestock, it could be growing crops, anything. Now my father was interested to buy a cow from one of those big farms next to my village. And when I arrived there, the lady, I don't know what led our conversation to come in a debate of the land. And this lady was sharing 20 hectares. And my father, I think, he's got like,
Is it a white lady?
it's a white lady, small land there. I think it's a, what do you call it, by size, but it's a small land. It's like a piece of yard. Hectares, yes. And my father is, this lady is claiming that he's got 20 hectares of land. I said to her, why don't you share this land with another black farmer? He said, who's that black farmer? I said, the gentleman standing next to you. He's a black farmer. I asked her how many cows do you have, because she was telling me that she's providing milk and meat. I said, my father is doing the same thing. How many cows do you have? She said, no, I've got 30 cows. I said, my father's got 50. And my father, as a South African, as a native of this country, is paid to, I mean, when you say this, to keep his livestock. And yet you are here in proud and tell me that you've got 20 hectares of land. And I said, how many of you will out of this 20 hectares of land? She said, no, I've employed 10 people and then it's me and my daughter, and that means 12 people. I said, we're 30 of us in those, in that piece of land. So we had a fight, and the fight was like, I was like telling her that, look, the other thing that the EFF was trying to say to these white people is that, look, you've got 20 hectares of land, and then that 10 hectares of land is not productive. It's not productive, sorry. And then you've got a piece of land that is productive. So why don't you take that 20 hectares of land and give it to this black man? So that is what we're trying to fight here in South Africa. We are trying to fight.
It's just that the EFF is just misquoted the people. That the EFF wants, the approach of the EFF is so arrogant to white people, they hate white people. Although within the only thing that the EFF is fighting is racism. People who've got their racist mind, the EFF is against them. There are white people that are not racist, that are working within the structures of the EFF. They are working with the EFF. But those who've got their racist mind, they cannot. It's just that people, they just misunderstand the EFF.
On the other side, I think.
On the other side. Because they don't want the truth.
I joined the EFF because I was born in this township, I grew up in this township, from one of the most disadvantaged areas. And I could see that there's nothing happening. And I decided to join politics. And I became, in 2016, before I got that, I was a councillor candidate. Now, in South Africa, when we speak about government, we've got 3 spheres of government. We've got national, provincial, and local government. Now, when you talk about local government, you are referring to the government within the township. For example, townships will be divided by wards. In the township of Langa, we've got 2 wards, 3. Ward 51, 52, and 53. So where we are right now, this is part of Ward 51. So, from 51 as well? I'm from 52. Yeah, we are from 52. So, each ward will have what we call a councillor. A councillor will be like a mini-mayor. That person will be elected by the people of that particular ward. And that person will be deployed by his or her political party. So you will be employed by government. You are getting deployed by your political party, but getting employed by government. So from 1994 until 2016, normally a councillor will be like an elder in that community or in that ward. But in 2013, I broke that mentality in my ward. I contested the position. I was mid-30s. I became the youngest councillor candidate. He was there.
Voted for you.
I don't know. I don't trust
I
him.
did. I did.
You understand, right?
You were there.
I voted for him.
I contested.
So you had an election, just like
local government.
Yes, they are coming. They are coming.
So I contested that position. Okay, my face was all over around. The reason why I contested is because I wanted to be part of the change. My friends didn't believe me that I'm contesting at that age. Even my mom.
Up until so you on the posters.
Even Diane. My mom woke up, the loyalty. The other reason why the ANC is still there is the loyalty from the elders. My parents' generation. You can tell them anything and everything, but don't tell them about leaving ANC. Because they still Mandela. Because my mom woke up very early in that year. I woke up with her. She passed me. She went in a voting station. She knew that my son, her son, is there, right in the voting booth. But she didn't vote for me.
Wow.
I
She
understand.
still believe the old way.
Yes.
I deeply understand her background, you know. I deeply understand it, but it's because of the loyalty. It's because of the loyalty. But we are still there. We are pushing. We manage as other opposition parties to make sure that the ANC is losing that power. Even now in South Africa, ANC is no longer, like in Parliament, is no longer a dominating party. No.
So are you getting any resistance from the old times or the process of starting your function? Are you getting any resistance from the government and the people trying to move forward? Organization?
You know, we in South Africa, the only problem that we are struggling because we came from the third political party, biggest political party, we are fourth now. It's because of the, you know, I mean, a lot of people, they want power. You know, you didn't know that even in the political parties, like, you know, EFF, there will be people that are looking for power. So we are still fighting. We are still adamant, and it's all about remaining optimistic and fight for the country. That's all.
Guys, guys, these are the laws and the clause during the apartheid times. You see, this is from 1918 to 1919, coming to 1940s, 1960s, 1970s until 1988. I'll make an example here. In 1960, you can see Langa housing, 35,000 residents, 1,500 bachelor quarters that were built. And then in 1961, South African Republic declared. And then 1971, Bantu Affairs Administration Act. 1971, 1976. That is the riots. You can see all these that were there.
These were crazy ones over here.
Over
From 1948 up to the 50s.
Up to the 50s.
One of them, it says Group Areas Act of
Group Areas
1950.
Act.
That's where the people were separated according to their color scheme.
Yeah, that is what I told you about the 10 Bantu stands. And the mix, the race, everything that were there by the government of the apartheid.
Yeah.
So we're living according to this. Should you break this, you're facing death.
Yeah. Or detention.
Or detention.
In prison.
Marriages between different races were not. When you go inside here, you are going to see where you see a board that it says non-white or Europeans only. They call themselves Europeans only. And then we call non-whites.
Yeah, but after the Group Areas Act, the other thing that we must note is that, remember in areas like District 6, when people were evicted there and separated and forcibly removed, the people were separated, which is under the Group Areas Act of 1950. Black people ended up in the townships. And then we've got people that we call colored. I know in the States that's offensive. In South Africa, even if you're looking for a government job, they will give you a form to tick that whether you're black or white or Indian or colored.
What word did you say was offensive? Colored.
Like colored, the name colored. Yes. For us, a colored person would be, I nobody said, too much white to be called black, too much black to be called white. Cappuccino.
I always make an example of the colored
Light
person.
skin.
If Chris Brown was South African, would be what would be called?
He'd be called colored.
Legs of Rihanna.
Who got me?
Yeah, the way.
Did you say Rihanna?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Did you say Rihanna?
Yeah.
They
Rihanna.
look like skin color.
The skin color is a bit lighter, and then
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
texture. The other thing that they were using to differentiate between the other opposite thing they were using to determine between the color and black, it was the texture of your hair. It was the texture. You remember they were introducing what we call the pencil test. It was never a scientific tested test. What they would do, they would take a pen
And
put it on your head, and
if it falls, it means that you know
you're colored. Because the texture of your hair is very special. They knew that a black man would run mines with the I mean, pen stick in the afro, you know.
Yeah.
And those
So-
were not scientific tested.
Even
But
at the
they-
Robben Island, they were using that, the pencil test.
They were used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on Rihanna being light skinned.
Yeah, Rihanna would be regarded as a color in South Africa.
Okay, now let me ask you this. She's actually from Barbados, so would that make her? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Good point.
Cause they only go by the kind of color you are, not where you from.
All right, we're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
Guys, you can come this side.